A very good Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you, back in the driver's seat yet again to bring you your latest weather and not forecast, courtesy of On Target. Relief has finally arrived, folks. Hallelujah. Amen. You can take a look here at the latest surface map overlaid with our satellite. We got a cold front that's going to continue to pull off down to the south and east, and that is opening up the door for our good old friend high pressure to build in here out of the north and west. Landon, why is that important? Well, we've got clockwise flow around areas of high pressure, and this is going to equate to a light northwesterly flow for us to soak in, and that is going to keep our humidity and dew points at bay. Wobbles community is located right here. So those light northerly winds coming in here is going to bring a nice breath of fresh air, if you will, with not as intense heat and humidity that we are going to have to deal with. Let's get a look across the region. A beautiful start to what should be an absolutely immaculate day overlooking the D93 Skycam. Got the water tower and Hospital Hill right there on the horizon. Not a single cloud in the sky. Well, I would be lying there just a little bit. We got a few clouds that are floating around out there early this morning. Taking a look over the Morgantown Skycam, got the view of the new construction of the Morgantown Bank and Trust Center going up there, along with Main Street. Take a look at the fog back there on the horizon. It's actually fog that's being lifted off of the Green Rivers, been floating about there in some locations. Be aware of some dense fog for those of you in and around the waterways early on this Wednesday. Getting a look out here, folks, it is the real weather story that we're going to be focusing on is what those temperatures and dew points are doing. Take a look at these readings. We've got both temperatures and dew points some 10, 12 degrees lower than what we've been dealing with here over the past couple of weeks, and it is welcome with open arms. Mid-60s across the board. We're going to bump highs back up between the mid and upper 80s this afternoon, but again, folks, with the lower humidity out there, it should be an absolutely beautiful day to soak in some of those rays of sunshine. Let's get a view over here what's going to be unfolding in regards to how our temperatures and dew points are going to be behaving here over the next 2 or 3 days or so. Here we are working into this afternoon. We're going to catapult highs to right around the mid-80s. Not going to be too bad whatsoever. We'll see lows go back down to the mid-60s overnight. Another beautiful early Thursday morning to soak in with a coffee on your porch or on your back deck. And then as we work into the afternoon on Thursday, some of us might not be escaping the lower 80s. But then as we progress into the 4th of July, folks, we're going to be going into the weekend to follow. We're already at the lunchtime hour and we're up into the mid-80s. It looks like we're going to be creeping back up to highs right around the lower 90s as we work throughout our 4th of July. And unfortunately, excuse me, we're going to have a little bit more humidity to deal with in that department as well. Speaking of that humidity, here in the short term, it is going to be awesome. Here we are looking at dew points down to the mid and upper 60s throughout the day. Got a few outliers there, folks. Some of the model guidance here kicking those back up to the lower 70s. I do not think that that's going to be the case. Going to stay comfortable throughout today. All the way through Thursday, as you can see here, dew points hanging out right around the mid and upper 60s. And then as we roll into the 4th of July, you'll see here, we get the low and mid 70s that begin to appear back across the region. Now, unfortunately, as we work into our 4th of July, it's not going to be terrible. We're expecting to remain rain-free. That is the good news. So any plans out there celebrating any of the local festivals? We got the world-famous Catfish Festival taking place there in my old stomping grounds up in Butler County. Should be rain-free for the first time in a couple of years, so that is good news for the greatest fireworks show out there. Get up there to Morgantown and check it out. As we work into the weekend to follow, all that is going to change. Keep your eyes on this large expanding upper level ridge located right here across the central United States, all right? We're looking at the pattern here, folks. It's 18 to 20,000 feet up above our head, and watch this mid and upper level ridge shift eastward as we work throughout our Independence Day, but more importantly, on into the weekend to follow. We're going to be pumping highs back up to around the mid-90s Saturday into the Sunday time frame. Dew points are going to be surging back up into the 70s. we're going to be making a run at the triple digits as far as heat indices are concerned throughout this weekend. Now, you will notice we get late into the weekend, into the early days of next week, we get more of zonal flow, that is flow west to eastward, right across the Great Lakes, and that's going to help break that ridge down. And we can compare this and we can mirror this with what's going on 18 to 20,000 feet up above our head to what's going on at the surface at the same time. Because as this zonal flow breaks our ridge down, this is going to allow for a cold front to approach the region from the north and west. This is going to be bringing a few isolated hit-miss showers and storms back into the mix as early as Sunday afternoon. But we're going to be looking at more likely chances of showers and storms pulling right along out of the south, along and ahead of that cold front as we roll into Monday and Tuesday of the new work week. So it looks like we'll be having rain and storm chances making a return here, definitely by Monday on into the Tuesday time frame of next week. But the good news is, folks, is that at least some model members are taking this cold front south and east of the region by Wednesday. You can see high pressure right there to our north, bringing back in that northerly flow. Another reprieve from the heat and humidity will hopefully be a little bit quicker to get in here, and we won't have another heat wave that's going to set up out here with what we have been dealing with. All right, jumping back over here and getting a look at the latest. Here's a look at our rainfall forecast over the next 7 days, and you can see pretty much going to be dry as a bone. This is pretty much a guarantee all the way through the end of the weekend. But again, folks, rolling into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, there are still question marks residing on how much moisture is going to be available to pull out and ahead of that cold front that could obviously equate to higher rain totals than what our current forecast model is showcasing. Here's a full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast. Loads of sunshine to enjoy for the foreseeable future. Today into tomorrow, humidity is going to stay low. If you got any outdoor plans or need to get any yard work done and mowing, get it done today or tomorrow. Independence Day, we crank those highs right back up between the low and mid 90s. Saturday into Sunday, mid and upper 90s with triple-digit heat indices a possibility. Hit and miss storm chances arriving as early as Sunday afternoon, becoming a bit more scattered in nature as we roll into Monday of the new work week. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning weather or not forecast, brought to you by none other than On Target. You all take care of yourselves.